Okay,
Okay.
so Benjamin is going to go over the arrest with the Portland police arresting him for drinking water at a bar, and go over what threat to his blind eye transpired and the bruising of his blind eye, and how that happened. Let's try to piece it together. Okay, go ahead, Benjamin. Benjamin Pickering.
Oh, say so.
So the police came at you from the right side, and you were reaching for
Oh,
your
yeah.
glass of water with your
I was
right
looking
hand.
up like at the screen because it was
Yeah.
right in front of me. You walk in the door and I asked for a glass of water. I've had some bad luck when I was down here. I'd been ripped off, blah blah blah.
You've been mugged.
Arguing
Yeah.
with my brother,
Yeah.
and then this one guy who was just coming off on me, getting a little crazy next to me, walking down
Yeah.
the street right across from the bar.
So you go into the bar, ask
So
for
I
the
fold
water.
some clothes up, and this is my report. You can get the report from the cop. This
Yeah.
is what I told him what I did before I went to the bar because he asked me what I was doing, which I sat down, left my brother's house and everything that went on, and I folded my clothes up and I had set them against the fence, like really nice clothes, and tied them up. Because down the road I noticed there was some free box, so they said give some clothes to the homeless or whatever.
So let's cut to the violence because that's the subject of this description. So they come at you from the right.
From the right.
They say you're resisting arrest as you're trying to drink your water.
It was like, and then they had turned me around.
They pull. And
Oh
then
yeah, they said resisting arrest. I all this is what I remember.
Yeah.
They grabbed my hand. I was like, yeah, and I didn't even, you know how you're like focused on something and someone's telling you something,
Yeah.
and it takes you a minute to correspond.
Yeah.
Like, and then plus being blind out of one eye.
Yeah.
That is not,
Because it
that doesn't
affects
help.
depth perception.
But I felt someone very gently. It was like the lightest grab, like in my hand. I was like, hey, and I heard this calmest voice. And I turned around. And I was like, yeah. And I went to stand up to see who it was, and I was trying to, I was in the middle of wrestling and talking to this lady and had drinking my water. It was so nice, gently hand. I was like, yeah, I want to stand up, and I didn't realize it was cops until I was slammed on the ground. But I
And did
I
they
remember
slam your
what I
face?
heard. I heard.
And they slam your face. What did you
Yeah,
hear?
I heard. They said you're resisting arrest, and I was like, huh? And the only thing I guess if it's resisting arrest or whatever, but they said I'm resisting arrest as I was going to the ground, and without even having two words, and I didn't even know it was cops until I realized there was a chair. As they grabbed me so fast, and I have a quick way of thinking. Anyway, because I had a dramatic brain injury, so I seen the metal chair with the leg, or with the metal chair.
Yeah.
And I seen it as they were slamming me face first. They're like, oh, get them, tie them up. They're just being really mean, aggressive. Yeah. I grabbed my whole body and went, and as hard as I could because they grabbed me really fast.
Yeah, so you're jerking.
And I barely missed it by just a blade that went
across. And
it could have took my right eye.
It could have taken your right eye out. And your right eye is your only seeing eye. So they almost completely and entirely blinded you, the Portland police. And your blind eye was black and blue.
Oh yeah, my blind eye.
And did the bruising come from your face being smashed in?
I think it was from one of the cops that was saying, "Oh, you can take it. Quit being a pussy."
Yes. Okay. You can take it. Quit being a pussy. To a half-blind boy who has suffered a traumatic brain injury leading to memory damage.
Yeah, and he had his knee in my head. He was going.
That's what
and he was trying to
push
as hard as he could, like popping my head. It felt like my accident happened all over again.
Okay, one thing you got to remember is that.
And I said, "Please get off my head," and I was screaming it.
Okay, is that getting these stories down is itself very traumatizing because you have suffered very greatly, and making this testimony for the internet and for the YouTube is heroic. Because no blind person or semi-blind person ever needs to experience what you have experienced in Portland. And I never want this to ever happen to you or to anyone like you. So, thank you for doing this. This is brave and courageous of you.
Oh yeah, I remember I was so traumatized the whole time they held me. I remember crying the whole time I was in there until I got released in the morning. And they still promised me food all night. They didn't give me no food. Even when they released me in the morning, when they said they kept checking on me. They knocked on the window and said, "We'll give you food in the morning."
Somebody was telling you they thought you were on meth, right? Is that correct?
Oh, someone had said that. There's a lot of things been said.
Right. But that's their way of interpreting you, is that they don't understand that you have needs for protection, and they are attacking you as somebody who's on drugs who they can just brutalize, who's going to be on so much drugs that they're not going to have a memory of it. So in terms of their brutalizing of you, what was the incident where they pull up your name and they say, oh, this better not be this boy Benjamin Pickering, the disabled kid from Washington State?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard him through the window because I was like, oh yeah, I say my prayers too, but they're like, is this Benjamin Pickering? You better be praying if this is this disabled kid.
Okay, look in the camera and say that.
I heard one of the officers. I don't know if it was because I was blindsided. I got a good look at kind of two of the guys. The four of them had wrestled me up, but there were several cops behind the bar. Those cop cars. So I got put in a cop car, and then two, as we were driving or whatever, two of the cop cars said, "Well, you better be praying if this is a disabled kid." But I don't know if it could have been me.
Yeah,
but I mean,
you better be praying if this is the disabled kid, because there had been a previous record put out by your father saying Benjamin's no longer in Washington. We don't know where he is. This happens all the time. People want to go on travel, and their family doesn't know where they are. So
actually, it was different family members in Portland.
Different family members.
And other people, other family members everywhere else too, like in a few Washington.
So okay.
I called my dad.
Yeah.
My dad, my real mom and dad. Which my dad is taking care of my mom. She's in a wheelchair.
Something.
She's recently had a stroke.
Okay.
But there was a lot of family concern about me. Like when the cops came up to me, they just said there's people calling on you.
Do you know what? Okay, Benjamin, can I just share with you why this is so important to me? Is something like this happened to my father due to his perceived Alzheimer's, mental dementia. The police didn't understand that when they say, "Sir, turn around," or you pay attention, he, because of his dementia and audio problems and all kinds of things, didn't know how to respond to them. So they literally threw my aged disabled father, who's now paralyzed and can't talk, down on the ground and arrested him brutally and threatened my mother with arrest when she came to try to say, "No, excuse me, that's my husband, he's disabled, he has this kind of neurodegeneration." And so this is a common thing across police departments here. So the universality of this, it's a very important thing. And I think we should stop there. I need a break, personally. Thank you so much, Ben. I'm glad you're okay. Thank you.
I need a cigarette. I need that.